Yeah, hi, thank
Hi,
you.
you're
Hello,
welcome.
everyone. Yeah, in exploring the body, there's a lot of fear now, in my experience. I just wanted to place it here
Yeah,
of it.
it's received, Sophia. You know you don't have to do anything with it, right? And
Yeah,
you know that even that I know that the label is important to some extent, but then at another moment you can let that go too.
yeah. It was interesting what she said about the intensity being a sign of aliveness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this was very important for me. So,
Yes, I think some of us we're frightened of big feelings.
yeah,
Early on in life, we had big feelings, and they were labeled, and we were little, and they were big. And it stayed like that. And we don't realize that some feelings are big, but we're big now. We've discovered how big we are. So then, it's still fear, but then if you really stay with it, it becomes this intense wave, especially if you're exploring it from the point of view of openness. So the story that is associated with the fear is not really relevant at that moment.
yeah,
Then when you name it fear, you're back more in a more contracted place, and it's going to happen to all of us. But don't forget the openness that you can reach into, relax into, where then fear also is allowed to relax and become more of a alive, intense ripple. Just give yourself permission
yeah.
to to begin to see this kind of contraction, relaxation.
How do you be with it in this way? I mean, it feels to me like dropping ink in water. And
That's a nice
so
image.
so pain colors the field in some way. It seems like it's part of the
Well,
pattern.
it's more that pain, it depends there's a big spectrum for pain, but I like your image of dropping a drop of ink in water. And then what happens is this kind of diluting and expanding of the color. So it's more that it's not so much that pain pervades the water, but rather that the water relaxes the pain. The pain is a contraction. Not all pain. Some pain is physiological and entrenched in the body, and you have to just really stay kind of very respectful of it, or it may need attention. But some pain is a deep-seated habit of holding, and we tend to. It's as soon as we experience it, we tend to resist it, which is more holding. So, for example, in the area of the shoulders and neck, we try not to psychologize it. And we try to welcome it, just like you said, a drop of ink in the field of openness. And and we find that even though during the session we still will feel this intense discomfort, perhaps after the session there will be more space in that area, because we became more aware of the pattern. We welcomed the pattern of resistance rather than resist the resistance.
I
Does
mean,
that
this
help?
pain I'm speaking of, you could say it's more like fatigue or something. It feels
Yeah,
more.
like an
It's not like
aching.
I raised my arms and that hurts. It's a more generalized. And can that just dilute in the
I
space?
think little by little that eases off as we work, as you explore the body like this, as you explore the openness in which this body and the sensations uh, are are replaced. It's like we finally are placing the body in its true habitat, which is this expansion, this borderlessness. So that inevitably has a healing effect on the body. But to begin with, we have to traverse the landscape. We have to feel that. We cannot bypass it. We can't just go, I'm going to relax the body. doesn't work. We have to go through that layer of how did you call it, a kind of ache, fatigue,
Yeah,
and
it's
not
kind of an ache,
do the
fatigue.
usual, not do the usual, which is to label fatigue, oh, blah 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 blah, past and future. No, fatigue. Okay, let's take the label away and let's just be with this direct experience, and and really connect with the field all around it, and let it be, let it play out. No agenda for it to go away.
So
That's
it's
the
like,
kind of
it's just an unwinding. It's a, I don't know if progressive is right, but it's a kind of progressive unwinding or a
yes, because
slow dilution,
yes,
dissolving.
exactly. You could say it's a slow dissolution, a slow alignment. And then, you know, yes, yes. Because the habit of separation is deep, and we reassert it. You know, even though we know the truth and we explore the truth, boom, you know, something happens in our life, in our relationship, and you know, so then we have, it doesn't matter, you know. But yeah, over I guess a lifetime of surrendering this body back to its true habitat, it's it permeates the body more and more. This gentleness, this ease, this.
Thank you.
Hi there.
Hi, hi. I was going to say that I used to find before, after say I meditated, or if I was you know, after retreats or on retreats, I would move naturally. What I would find is my body would actually want to move with the energy itself, or whatever you want to call it. And like
Yeah.
I've come to you, this is my second time coming to you. And it seems to be almost like when you're a woman, it's kind of, you almost don't have permission to move in certain ways, you know, or get in touch with, the animal side, or get in touch with the natural side.
Yes.
It seems to be that this, what you're doing, is getting in touch with the intelligence that naturally heals, that naturally frees up.
Absolutely. I mean, you know what, Patricia, I have no idea what I'm doing. I mean, all these years where I was teaching, I was trying to teach according to what I had received, which was from beautiful teachers, but who happened to be men.
Yes.
And I think it does have a great effect, a great, there's a difference between a man body and a woman body.
Yes. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so the teaching, little by little, as it's channeled through this body, which happens to be a woman's body, definitely I'm letting something else come through, and I know that it's okay. Like, but in the beginning, Pat, I was like, oh no, ooh,
Yeah.
no, wrong, no, this is indulging in feelings. This is going in the way of you know. I was feeling like I'm not following the Pope.
Yes.
But I know now it's actually very, very good and very. I trust it, and you were trusting it then in those days, but then you weren't, because somehow there was no validation out there. But
yes,
I think the world is in bad need of more body intelligence, creative intelligence, direct intelligence. Yeah.
No.
So move, Pat.
Yeah, move. That's what I feel. So it's great, because it is very freeing. Because I couldn't, you know, you go to a teacher, whatever they would say about the freedom and what the freedom is.
Well, freedom is an aspect of our true nature, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, look at this universe.
Creativity. Yeah. So it's no, it's wonderful. It's
But it's a how to say it demands a rigor which I struggle to put into words, because here we are letting the body be moved, and of course feelings and impulses, and then of course the separate self is I mean, how to say this, the personal aspect is bound to be there, wants to be expressed, the fearful one, the needy one, the angry one, whatever, this rich display of expression comes in the form of something very personal sometimes, the non-dual teaching somehow has sent us the message, oh, no. So it's like that we have to learn a way of giving totally full space for that. And then understanding how that allowing of the personal expression will naturally relax the person.
Yeah. It allows it to express and go back to peace, I think.
There you go. Thank you, Patricia.
Yeah.
And also because there must be some intelligence to all this creative creation, all this is saying something and conveying something and sharing itself. And we can't just share like this. I mean, Jesus Christ, look.
Yeah, and it's like with because I used to do the midwifery, so it's like with labor. If you trust it and trust the energy, I'm calling it energy, but you can call it whatever. You could call it whatever. You could call it love or whatever.
Yeah.
It goes back to, it just harmonizes or something. It goes to harmony.
That's right. That's exactly right. I feel that too. So deeply.
Yeah.
Thank you.